Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Vanessa and I'm an author from Toronto, Canada, and I publish under the pen name A and Sage. If you are new to this channel and want to subscribe or thinking about subscribing, then you should know that I publish weekly videos on this channel that have something to do with writing or being a creative at this day and age of creative entrepreneurship. So far, I've published 20 books, all in the cozy mystery and fantasy and mystery realm. A lot of young adult books with a few sci-fi titles along the way. And we are counting, so more books are coming this year and I'm really excited to share them with you. But here in this channel, I talk about tips and tricks for authors if you're thinking of writing a book or have written a few already and are looking for some advice from an author who has been doing this for quite some time. I am also a book coach, and so a lot of the advice that I offer comes from the mentality of being a coach and helping other authors as part of my career. And one thing that I do on this channel quite a bit is I talk to you about different tech, different tools, some planners and things like that could help you in your writing journey. Apps, anything that might actually be of any use to an author. And today we are doing just that. We are going to be talking about the Freewrite. It's very reflective, this cover. But I received the Freewrite Traveler. I got it. And I got it, I want to say somewhere halfway through NaNoWrimo, kind of towards the end of this past year that just happened. So when I got it, I wasn't sure about it, but I've had about just over a month now of using it and using it consistently because I actually received it when I was right in the middle of drafting the final draft for my submission that was due to my publisher of Devil in a French Press. And so I worked on it on a book that is quite lengthy, and then since then I have also written a short story that I'm going to be submitting for an anthology very, very soon. So I've had time to think about it, to collect my thoughts, the pros and cons, how I really feel about it, and most importantly, I had time to think about the difference between this right here and the Alphasmart Neo 2, which is what I was using before, which is another digital typewriter. And I will tell you everything that I think kind of concisely as I am doing this review, but what I think what we'll do now and what's going to work best is if we're going to turn the camera around so you can actually see the Traveler, what it looks like. I'll do some close-ups so you can see and talk you through it. So I'm going to be filming you over this way, pretend you're like a little devil/angel on my shoulder, and we can just kind of see what this is all really about. One thing to keep in mind before we do that is that if you are ordering the Freewrite from the Freewrite store, I believe you can also get them on Amazon, but if you're ordering from their store and you don't live in the States, keep in mind tax like fees and customs fees wherever it's coming in, because those can get very, very hefty. And I will say that the customer service for Freewrite is not all that knowledgeable when it comes to stuff, nor are they very helpful. So keep that in mind. I didn't and was kind of stricken by how much it was. There was like some things that I had to do on my end. The reason being is that Freewrite actually sends this with UPS, and I'm sure as some of you know, UPS is probably the worst company to send with because their fees are ridiculous. They always find something to charge you on their end. They take forever. So they lose your package, or they don't know where it is, or go somewhere else. So it's just a big hot mess. I wish they would send it with somebody else like FedEx or something. But anyways, that's neither here or there, just something to keep in mind. So with that said, let's flip this camera around and we can take a look at the Traveler and I can walk you through it and tell you what I really think of this baby. So we are back and I've just turned us around a little bit and we've got the machine right here so we can see a little bit better. So as you can probably see, you can see my lights back there, but this is a very reflective black surface. If you are bothered by fingerprints on the surface, this is not a good surface for you because as you can already see, it shows everything. Every time you touch it, there's going to be a little fingerprint over there. When you open it up, once it goes to sleep a little bit, you probably saw a little screen over there and it rotates through pictures of famous authors in like this abstract way, and that is what usually is showing up on the screen. Now I have it open just so you can see some more writing, but we're going to type a little bit so you can see what that's like. The top screen here, this main screen, that's where your writing sits. That's where your work will go as you're typing it. There is a little bit of a lag, which you'll see when I start typing. But for me, it doesn't really bother me too much. You do make more mistakes that way. It took some getting used to because it did really bother me a lot because the Alphasmart has no lag. It just types, but this one has a bit of a lag. Now, this bar here can be different types of progress bars. So right now I have it set to reading time, the words right in the center and how many characters. The main reason I have this is because I want to see how many words I have going. But if you press this special key right here, it will rotate. So you can have an analog looking clock in case you need to know the time when you're typing. There is the date on it. I'm not sure what 13 means, to be honest with you. I haven't looked at that yet. I think it's like how many drafts or words. I never use this, but it's a different thing. You can have a timer that will time you for how long you have been working if you're doing like Pomodoro sprints or anything like that. And then just nothing. So 0, like absolutely nothing at all. And then the other one that you could have is it will tell you the date and then it will tell you the email that is associated to your Postbox account. And so the way that Freewrite works is it uploads to a cloud when you're typing. You can also arrange it so that it uploads to either a Dropbox or a Google Drive, but it uses Postbox, and Postbox is an online cloud service. You can pay for like the premium feature that you can upload drafts to from your computer so you can type in both places and continue from the same spot, or the free version they have where it just kind of stores. One tip: when you are getting this machine and if you're experimenting with it, if you're not logged onto Wi-Fi and you go into your typing, let's say you wrote like a chapter or whatever it is that you wrote and you're not connected to Wi-Fi, if you log into Postbox and you go into their drafting section there and start typing there, it will not capture anything that you've written and it will actually sync straight to whatever you have in Postbox and delete everything you had here. Speaking from experience, I lost about 1,400 words while on deadline because this was not something that I knew about. It's not written anywhere that I could find on the Freewrite store. And when I reached out to their customer service support, nobody really knew what's going on and it took forever to figure out what happened and nobody could recover the words. That's what I mentioned before with customer service being a little bit iffy, but once you figure this out, hopefully you don't need any service at all. Also, when you first get this machine in, it will not be updated to the most recent update they have, so you have to update it several times. The way you do that is you press, I believe, New, Shift, and F. They have instructions on their site, and it will download the upload when you have Wi-Fi. Keep that in mind. And then when the machine goes to sleep, it will ask you if you want to install the upload. And then you do that. So whatever the upgrade. So whatever upgrade you downloaded, make sure you get it to the most recent version they have, and then you'll be set to go. You only have to do this once when you get the machine. I believe mine is now at 2.0, and that's what the most recent one they had, but they had to do 2 upgrades to get it to 2.0 because it was at 1.5 or something like that. So now to this whole machine. So what do we have on here? I'm going to just lift it up so you guys can see. So we've got these cool little buttons, very minimal and very pretty to look at. The top buttons here are your folders. So you can have unlimited drafts basically, but you have 3 folders to organize them in. So you could work it as 3 different books that you have. You could have 1 folder for fiction, 1 for nonfiction, 1 for plays or screenwrite plays or whatever it is you're working on. I work it per project, so per book. So right now I'm in folder A. And then I'm going to just leave it there. I'll work on folder B and folder C. And when I'm done with those 3 books, I'll delete everything from the folders and start again. These will already be backed up to my Google Drive, to my Dabble, to Postbox, so I won't be worried about deleting it from here. You also have your power button. This will turn the machine on if it goes to sleep. Then you have your Wi-Fi section, so you can turn your Wi-Fi off, on, or new, which is when you configure your Wi-Fi. When you press new, it will configure your new Wi-Fi for you, and then just press on to get back to the writing screen. When you click on your folder, so if you long press folder A, it will jump into this screen here, which will show you, let me just put that down, which will show you all of the different drafts that you have on here, and then you can go page down and page up to select them. You can manage the drafts by pressing the special button here, and it will give you options on what you can do with these drafts. So you can bookmark them, archive them, shred them, or move them to a different folder. So lots of options there. And then if you want to just get out, press special again. And to get out again, you just press on whatever. So I was working on chapter 9, so I press that number 1. And then it'll take me right back to where we started. So that's kind of the interface of the folders. Now, you have a few different buttons here. You can't do much editing on this, I will tell you, because it's very hard to move around. In order for me to move to a different word, I have to press this new button right here and then press either up to take me to the bottom of the previous paragraph, so up and down again, or I have to go word by word by pressing A, which are the arrows, or word by word by pressing D. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but that's the beauty of it, right? Because you don't want to edit, you just want to draft. This is a drafting machine. So much like the Alphasmart, if you have that, not too much you can do for editing. You do have a bigger screen than the Alphasmart, which I do really, really like. Next, buttons that you will probably use a lot of, this special button, which we showed before, the backspace button, if you are ancient like me and still backspace when you make a mistake instead of just moving on or going to that direct word to edit it. Page up and down will take you, so page up will take you to the previous page. The page is the screen. Page down will take you to the next page down. And then if you want to start a new draft, which is the one you'd use every single time. So let's say this was chapter 9 of the short story that I'm working on, and I am going to move on to chapter 10. If there is a chapter 10. You would press these two new buttons together at the same time, let go, see how it lags, and it starts a brand new chapter for you. So now we're here and we're going to go with chapter 10. So do you see the lag when I'm typing? It's a little bit behind. We are testing how this types and already making mistakes, ... So one thing to notice, obviously it's analog, so it will not capitalize first words of a sentence, first words of a paragraph or anything like that. So you do have to press shift. So to retype that again, I press return, next line, I would have shift we. We are testing how this types. I'm also sitting very weird, so it's hard to type. So as you can see, the lag is there that I was telling you about. Now, if I want to make sure I never lose this because of my little mistake that happened when I lost the words, what I do now is I always go to new to make sure my Wi-Fi is connected. So this is what the Wi-Fi screen is going to look like. See, it's how it's searching for Wi-Fi. It wasn't connected before. The Wi-Fi connection on this one is very, very slow. It takes a very, very long time. But now you'll see that it was actually connected to the Wi-Fi. And then I press on again. So I'm going to press on again. It goes back to the screen. Wi-Fi is connected. And then you press this button here, send. And what that's going to do when you press it, you'll see over here, it's going to say your document has been sent. This was now sent to my email. And so now I have an extra backup because it's in my email and it's in my Google Drive. So now I know for sure if it's not uploaded on Postbox, I can at least go into my email and retrieve it from there because it's been sent over. And that's pretty much it. If you press send and it says your document will be sent when Wi-Fi is connected, that means you're not connected to Wi-Fi. So just go back the way that I just showed you, press new, wait until it connects. You don't have to always put in your password. Once you put in once, it will remember it, but it will take some time for you to actually connect every single time. And sometimes it has to be manually pushed. It won't do it by itself. I am waiting for customer service to get back to me to see why that happens and why I continuously have to press new for it to connect to Wi-Fi, but no one's replied to me yet because customer service. But otherwise, this is it. This is the Traveler. See, now I just put it to sleep by pressing this button, and look at that. It's Edgar Allan Poe. It says, set your story free. This might be one of my favorite ones with a raven in the back, but it will toggle through. There's all these different famous authors on there. So that's basically kind of the walk through of the Freewrite. Now, I am still learning to love it. I did have a lot of hiccups with it at the beginning that made me really dislike this machine, and it made me want to return it. because you have 30 days to do that. But when I figured out how to send the document, how to make sure it's backed up, how to not touch it on Postbox to edit because I don't need their editor, it's very ancient and foolish and totally unnecessary. So when I realized not to touch that, just send the documents to myself to make sure they're backed up, and when I got used to the keyboard and how to type on it, I'm actually really liking it now. I like that it's lightweight. I like that I can take it anywhere. I really like the visual of it. And if you know me, you know I'm a visual person. And so the appearance of something is important to me. And I really, really enjoyed that it's so much smaller and thinner, more portable than the Alphasmart, because while the Alphasmart was great and I wrote so many books on it, it was still bulky. So it was really, there's no difference between it and taking my laptop and just putting it on silent mode and on not interrupt mode and just working on my laptop there on Dabble. So, integrations with Dabble, by the way, or Scrivener or anything like that, this will not send it to anything. So the Alphasmart, because you can plug it in, it will type it directly into whatever you plug it into, the app. However, with this, you have to copy paste. Take it from your Google Drive, take it from Postbox, or take it from the email that you sent to yourself, and you copy paste into your writing. For me, right now, that's Dabble. So I copy paste what I wrote into Dabble. And that is the Freewrite. So tell me what you think, but let's just quickly chat and do final thoughts. But I thought that this walkthrough was much more important to do this way than for me to just talk to you guys. So hopefully that worked. So those were my thoughts on the Freewrite Traveler. As I mentioned, I have grown to really like it. I am learning to love it. It is a big change from the Alphasmart because I think the Alphasmart in general is just a very reliable machine. Whereas when you have something like this that's supposed to be just digital and straightforward, but you also then attach it to Wi-Fi and have cloud storage, it becomes complicated. And I'm not sure that we need that complication. Like, I was perfectly smart not having cloud storage and just having my Alphasmart and hooking it up with a cord, but I can see how in 2024 we might want something that's a bit more advanced technologically. So with all that said, I do really like the portability. I like how small it is. I love the look of it, and I like how it types, though it did take some getting used to, as I already mentioned. Would I recommend this? For the price, no. In all honesty, I think if you are trying to be budget friendly with your writing, but you do want like a more analog experience, like something like the digital typewriter, save yourself money, get the Alphasmart. The Neo 2 is great. You can paint it, customize it however you want. I've seen people do some really cool art on theirs. Mine's painted pink. So get yourself that. You can probably find one for like $30 on eBay. Sometimes Amazon has them secondhand too, or look on your local Facebook Marketplace or any of those places, like reseller places, and get that. If you have the money to spend and you are more interested in combining the analog style of writing and typing and the typewriter feel, if you want to combine that with being able to store something on the cloud or having something connect to your Google Drive, then definitely look at the Freewrite. Freewrite also has much bulkier versions than this. I got the Traveler because the idea for me is that I don't want to bring my laptop everywhere. And so when I am traveling, this is just easy to throw in the purse. But if you want something that just kind of sits on your desk and looks cool, like an old typewriter, they do have that as well. So options for all. But those are my thoughts on the Freewrite. Let me know if you've tried this, what you think. If you enjoy the Freewrite, which one you have. There's also a ghost version of this that was a limited edition that's completely clear, but that looked like it would not be very helpful to me as far as like looking at where I'm typing. But if you do have one, tell me how you feel about it. And as always, I hope that you enjoyed this video, that it was helpful to you in some way, and that it got you thinking about digital typewriters. Maybe not the Freewrite, but maybe yes. So with that said, I hope you guys stay magical, and I will see you next week for another video. Bye!